Ladies and gentlemen, you should do yourself a favor and pay very close attention to this video. We have seen some very big things occur on the Bitcoin charts in the last 24 hours specifically. The 50 simple moving average has been flipped back for support. This is great news as this level led to the bottom in October and September 2024 before Bitcoin literally doubling in price. The S&P 500 has seen a flip of the bull market support band, a perfect retest and continuing back to the upside. The last time that happened was in September 2024, which, again, just like what I just discussed on the 50 SMA, happened just before Bitcoin doubled in price. And if we look at the shorter term charts, we can see Bitcoin in a breakout on the 4-hourly as well as the 4-hourly chart RSI, making a run for its next major resistance level at 102.5 thousand. If we manage to break that, we will validate basically, very, very likely, that Bitcoin will go to all-time highs from there. So great stuff happening around the board on Bitcoin. We'll take the first half of this video to analyze the macro, analyze some fractals from last year, analyze where Bitcoin is cyclically speaking, analyze a support zone starting backwards from 2021. We've looked at all of that before, but we'll just recap it for the first few minutes, and then we'll get into some new analysis. I'll also look into the bearish monthly candle close Bitcoin saw and how that is being somewhat suppressed, or fears with that monthly close are being suppressed and lowered via a good weekly candle close that we just saw on Bitcoin. So we'll look into quite a lot today, but I highly recommend you pay attention here. Before we do so, check out the Bitfinex and BitGet exchanges, two exchanges that I personally use. Okay, I reached out to them for partnership. They did not reach out to me. Okay, I don't get money from them, nothing like that. The only thing I get is a referral link, which you can sign up with down below, an affiliate link. If you sign up with that link, you get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life. And I get rewarded in the discounted fees. So you're losing nothing, I'm gaining something, you're getting discounted, you're getting on a good exchange, you're getting on exchanges that have very good track records, very low in trading fees, access to hundreds of pairs, you can't go wrong. Bitfinex is global non-KYC, BitGet is global minus the USA. Take your picks down below. Let's get into the content. We established something very clearly in yesterday's video. We established three definitive kind of indicators, three definitive forms of analysis, different indicators, different macro trends, different structures that are saying pretty clearly that the Bitcoin bottom of this correction is pretty much likely in 91K. It could go a little bit lower, but for the most part, the 91K wick that we touched downwards on the 30th of December was pretty much likely the bottom. We can establish that again very quickly through taking a fractal from this time last year right here. There it is. And if we just go ahead and layer that on top of the current price action, you can see the similarities are beyond the point of being a coincidence. They are staggering similarities, and these staggering similarities suggest that within a few days, Bitcoin will be in a renewed move to the upside if that fractal is continuing to be followed. Now, of course, fractals are quite unreliable forms of analysis, but that is, again, staggeringly similar, okay? So that's a very good sign. Another good sign is this very unknown support line stemming backwards from the 2021 cycle highs going all the way through the price action now. That's very clearly acting as the foundational support zone of this macro range, which we are still above, which we have bounced off recently. And from that bounce, we have seen good news across the charts. That's a very strong level of support. Until that breaks, there's no reason really to be bearish on Bitcoin at all. And finally, we can take cyclical comparisons. Of course, Bitcoin moves in a 4-year cycle. Therefore, what happened in the last cycle is relevant to what's happening right now. Extrapolating data forward, I won't waste your time with it again because I've done it 2 videos in a row. But basically, this move right here is very similar to this move we're seeing right here for various reasons. Reason one is it took the same amount of time to break that structural resistance zone in yellow, 1,100 days. Reason two is because of the 4-year cycle, we're at the same part of the cycle. Reason three is because on that first parabolic move above the yellow line, on both occasions, Bitcoin dominance has started dropping. So that parabolic move in green right here in 2021 and in green right now, what we're seeing has been the trigger for altcoin season. And fourthly, and this is extensive, we looked into this yesterday very extensively, but I'll just explain the conclusion. Fourthly, if we take some kind of samples from this move back here in 2021, the first parabolic move above the all-time high from the previous cycle, we can see that the correction that we saw after that parabolic move was 28% the size of the move to the upside that we saw, okay? If we extrapolate that forward and we assume that the correction will be 28% of the size of the move upwards that we saw from 69K to 108K, we would be seeing a correction of 15.6%, which takes us to around 91,000, which we have already reached, and therefore 91,000 51,000 is quite likely to have been the bottom, more or less. Again, we could go a little bit lower, but more or less that is the case. So just establishing using those 3 data points, which we've done in 2 videos in a row now, I apologize for boring you with it, but it is worth kind of going over for people who haven't watched the content before. It's very, very likely that Bitcoin has pretty much bottomed out on this short-term move, or at least, there's no reason to suspect Bitcoin will go lower until we actually see evidence for it. We have enough data here to say that the bottom is likely in. Now, obviously, if Bitcoin comes down and breaks this diagonal support line, then we can obviously flip bearish on the short term. We can say, okay, something's going on here, something bigger is at play. But until then, this is just very normal price action, literally normal. I can use that word because cyclically, it's completely the same as last cycle. Now, am I saying we can't go down? No, I'm not saying that at all. Anything is possible, but right now that's just simply not the likely scenario as per the charts we're seeing, and that is supported via the short term. We'll get into some new analysis now. There's a few very important lines on the short-term charts here for Bitcoin. And the most important line really, and what we're looking for upside confirmation of a breakout, of Bitcoin actually going and doing something major and continuing to all-time highs, is in my view a break of 102,500. Okay, that red line right there. Why is that level so important? Well, in my view, we can split up this price action since November basically into 2 distinctive zones. So zone 1 right here, which is the upward accumulation zone. We saw patterns of exhaustion, which eventually led to a breakdown. Okay, that breakdown was confirmed at the breakdown below 102,000. We can validate that via the fact that upon that breakdown, we came up and saw a resistance support flip from that structured resistance level, stepping backwards from here, and we entered zone 2, which is the accumulation zone. So we have the exhaustion zone and the accumulation zone. Now, obviously, it's very good to see accumulation on structured support, and that's one of the reasons we're short-term bullish here. But another reason we're short-term bullish is because we've actually seen breakouts in the last 24 hours. We've seen breakouts from this resistance line right here, as you can see. Okay. We've also seen a breakout line matching that resistance line on the 4-hourly chart RSI. That's absolutely exceptional to see. And if we zoom up on that breakout on the RSI, what we can see is a resistance support flip. Okay, so you can see it right there, a resistance support flip. We broke that level, we came down a little bit, retested it for support, and we're heading back to the upside. That's absolutely exceptional. Textbook 101 breakout. The exact same thing has happened on the price chart, breaking that resistance zone, going up a little bit, back testing it for support, and continuing to the upside. I mean, this is, again, textbook breakouts here. Very, very good to see. But we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. Until 102,000 is broken, or 103,000, somewhere in that vague range where that red line is, I don't consider Bitcoin to be in an active move to the upside. This is still very much a consolidation range. We're just seeing good signs within the consolidation range. Now, to add further to those good signs, we can take a look at the 50-day simple moving average, which you can see right here on the screen in red. A very, very important level for Bitcoin, which actually marked the bottom and the final kind of bottom before the upwards trend started very aggressively back in October. Resistance, I'm just circling occasions where it's acted as resistance and support over and over again. Very, very clearly defined level. Even when we broke down below it just a couple weeks ago now on Bitcoin, when we broke down below it, you can see, yeah, we broke down below it, but it immediately started acting resistance. So even though we were below that level, it never lost its validity. And right now we've flipped back above it. And if you zoom into the shorter term time frame and use that same moving average, that same 1-day chart, 50 simple moving average, you can see just like the resistance level in yellow that has been flipped for support, that 50 SMA has also been flipped for support. You can't really get much better than that. Now, on top of this, it doesn't end there. If we look at the S&P 500, we know the S&P 500 and Bitcoin are heavily connected. Unfortunately, that's true. It's not ideal for cryptocurrency that's connected to an external market, but it's just simply true. The last time the S&P 500 retested the bull market support band was on the 9th of September. Okay, it's retesting the bull market support band right now. On the 9th of September, that was the last time it did this. And on the 9th of September for Bitcoin, guess what happened, guys? On the 9th of September for Bitcoin, we pretty much saw close to the very bottom of our 8-month consolidation that consumed almost the entirety of 2024. And from that level, we skyrocketed on to all-time highs on Bitcoin. We went upwards from 52,000, doubled in price to 108,000, more than doubled in price. And that all occurred from the period of time that the S&P 500 retested the bull market support band. That's happening again. If history repeats here, not only will the S&P 500 continue upwards, but so will Bitcoin. So these are all very, very good things happening on the Bitcoin charts here. Again, not really confirmed bullishness, like nothing's really happened. We've seen these short-term breakouts, we've seen shifts in strength. It's really, really good to see, but there's no active breakout. We're not parabolic right now. We need to really get above, as I said, 103,000-ish for that to occur, but really good signs here. It's definitely easing some nerves. And in continuing with the nerve easing, the 1 month chart closed a very bearish candle. Now, I don't think it was concerning. I made a video directly why I wasn't concerned about it at all. But it was quite a bearish candle, objectively speaking, on the 1 month chart. A pattern of reversal right there. Not really too good to see, regardless of any analysis I can do, brushing concerns away. It's just simply not good to see. Now, the good news is that monthly candle that we're forming right now is looking quite good so far. And the second part of the good news is it doesn't seem to have had any immediate term effects as expected. In fact, the weekly chart has just rolled into a bullish engulfing candle. So this is really great stuff all around for Bitcoin. Just an excellent 24 hours altogether. Again, I'm not saying we can't go downwards. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that until we actually do go downwards, if that occurs, there's nothing to be stressed here. There's no breakdowns here. And if anything, the short-term charts are just looking more and more bullish by the day. So let's hope it continues, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out the exchanges, the Bitunix and BitGet exchanges. Okay, BitGet is available everywhere except for the USA, and Bitunix is available everywhere in the world, global, non-KYC. So you don't have to link your identity to the exchange. You can use my referral links down below for a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life. It really helps me out when you do that, and it helps you out as well by getting on a good exchange. You're trusting these guys with your money. You're trusting them to keep it safe. You're paying them fees. You definitely want to be on a good one, especially during the bull market when exchanges are targets of hacks and stuff like that. You want exchanges with good track records and reserves information available, and these exchanges have those two things. So check out those links down below, sign up, it takes 15 seconds. And the final thing I'll mention quickly is the VIP group I have on Telegram. I trade altcoins on Telegram. I post my altcoin trading signals 4 times a week. You also get access to a group chat if you join up with that VIP membership. And you can check out the trading results for the last 3 whole years of trading results. I have it right there in a PDF document. You can view it. It's fully transparent before you join, so you know what you're signing up for. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.